Testing. I think it's working. Let me just double check. It appears to be working.
Proper.
Okay. So we are good to start. Although, yeah, no, we are good to start.
All good. Wait, let me. My camera, other camera isn't working, so fix the lighting a little bit.
I could pause the stream if you would like.
Now we Gucci. Think we good now. All right, awesome. Welcome everybody today to the Fireside Chat. We're here with your host, Nee, as well as Chris. And today we're going to be having fun with a nice chat about our contributor system from the marketing perspective and why we believe this is going to be an amazing place for people to be able to grow as marketers, as well as learn and master new skills. So let's get right into it. So I myself, being a marketing contributor for FiatRexa, this place has been an amazing opportunity. You know, we have a lot of different resources that we've been putting together from different scripts in terms of having conversations with people about understanding crypto, as well as getting onboarded into the system, as well as also learning different media skills and techniques that I'm now using for other assets of my life. So I'm extremely grateful for what this opportunity has brought for me. But yeah, we can get more deep into other aspects of how the contributor system is really powerful for marketers. So, Chris, from your perspective, how do you think that this contributor system allows marketers to really grow within this space?
I think it's a great question. And also, I think the marketers for FiatRexa have like specific benefit towards the on-chain commission system. So because FiatRexa is a decentralized protocol that focuses around utility, we have our utility tokens at the beginning, which people get a 10% cut on chain for utility token sales, and then they get 5% as a secondary. So if you are someone who's good at building teams, like once you've figured out how to market and sell on your own, and you've figured that those processes out, and you've earned some money through doing that, be that a few $1,000s, a few $100,000, what have you, you can engage and build a team. At which point you can then be making millions of dollars per year out of your commissions, because you get that 5% on the people who you've trained and onboarded for the commission system or the referral system. So we do forever, lifetime, everything. So the entire protocol is designed to distribute all fees. Referral and marketing functionalities have a direct commission instead of just this large share of revenues from the contributor system. I mean, you get both, because to be a contributor, you get 90% of all protocol fees shared. And then from that 90%, you're getting this larger cut from commissions because you are referring people. The commissions come off before the treasury payout as well, which is 10% to the protocol treasury function. So it would actually get closer to, what is it, like 8% of
Hmm.
all protocol fees are to the treasury once you account for commissions. But not all people who sign up are going to be referred. Um, Most buying decisions, like 70% plus, I would say, are word of mouth oriented, or like because someone's told them about something. Uh, like people can't buy something if they don't know it exists. So someone who can go out there and introduce things into people's reality, or their perspective, their worldview, is helpful. And that's why the commission structure exists in all the normal business processes, because it is motivating people to go out there and share something and get people to engage with it, whether it's buying a product or service or what have you. In this case, it's joining the FiatRexa ecosystem, the protocol. So as a marketer, you can kind of do whatever you want, because this isn't a normal job type thing. You own everything, everything's on chain. You are fully independent and get to do whatever the heck you want. But everything is guaranteed and immutable on chain. There is no, you go get a marketing job, someone tells you how to spend every second of your day, and then you get a paycheck at the end of the month. Sometimes with commission, sometimes not, and sometimes if you made too much money, maybe they just fire you and they don't pay out your commission check. which for people who are like already familiar with marketing and sales and have performed at a high level may already be familiar with. So here, there is no getting shafted. There is no getting fired. There is no um, having your commissions stolen. There is none of this normal traditional business process garbage. You just have, you do your value contribution, you get paid for it indefinitely. Not one time commission. There is no like,
Hmm.
you do the task once, you get paid $5. It's like you do the task, you're getting relative proportional value, which is going to be in hundreds or thousands of dollars most likely, and then that gets paid indefinitely. So it's also highly scalable. You can start doing it today, and this year you might only make a few hundred or a few $1,000s, because you do it casually and you're still learning and you're figuring things out. But next year you add on more to that, and next year you add on more, and lo and behold, after 5 years, this isn't casual for you anymore. It's bigger than your baseline income at a high level. You're getting paid hundreds of thousands a year, and you're chilling. You've dialed in. You understand everything really well now. You've understood everything, and are able to excel. And for those who then are like, I'm going to keep working hard and not just go retire on a beach, they can start training other people on how to do the same thing and educating more people on how to be productive marketing contributors or sales contributors. Those individuals will probably be able to pull out millions of dollars because the scaling benefit. You get that 5% of the people you train and develop. Plus, you're still getting your baseline. So, like, who you are actually referring to, your own book of user management, essentially. And you can be signing up businesses or individuals. You could also arguably be signing up central banks, but that is a very hard sales process. So, I mean, if you can, go for it. I'm not going to stop you. It's a protocol. I can't stop you. You can't do anything. Uh, but that is a much harder sales process. So it could be
Hmm.
way more beneficial. That like those numbers are much larger, but that's not very feasible for most people. I think most people are able to go and have people that they know or that they meet who use a credit card or who use a bank or who use fiat and are like, hey, do you want to do that without wasting as much money and while earning more money? Join FiatRexa protocol where they tokenize fiats and your cost base is cut off and there's no middlemen taking all your money. You're not depositing funds at a checking account and having most of those gains go somewhere else. You're actually keeping those gains. They stay inside the ecosystem. So that sales pitch, because it's kind of boring and highly practical and productive, is not going to necessarily be an easy one, but uh, is still viable. People still do buy practical things that improve their life in a simple way, but it is not like you're not selling someone a yacht and taking home $100,000 check in commission, or a plane and taking home $1 million check in commission. Um, but again, you are fully up to your own devices, and if there's something you want to do that you think would make things better, or if there's a product or any way you want to contribute, you can. You are a contributor. You just have your bias towards marketing, and therefore you're focused on the referral fees because that's the easiest thing to focus on. And you're getting a check every time you get a sale. You're getting paid automatically. There's no release. There is no centralized authority that has to tell you or permit it or anything. Like, it's all on chain. No one has any control. It is on chain. The DAO could vote to change the way in which that works, but you're a member of the DAO if you're a contributor because you have the contributor tokens. So you've taken the utility tokens and you've converted them. Uh, or also, as a marketing contributor, you can also just get the utility tokens so you're saving more money because you're getting a 50% discount on all the protocol fees. So that also puts you ahead a whole bunch. As a marketer, you're getting this freedom, but you're also getting this community. You, it's like, imagine you could go into work whenever you wanted from anywhere in the world at any time and collaborate with your coworkers who are all also on the same page of like, I just want to do what works and make things better for everyone. There is no politics. There is no garbage. There is no theft. There is no parasites. Parasites will likely come in the future, but the contributor system should mitigate them a fair amount. And furthermore, like there's there's less incentive for them because all the reward is already distributed to everybody on chain. It's not like they can come in and then steal your commissions by firing everybody. It's not possible. It's all on chain. So you can pass on your commissions, and commissions will have a rollover. So if an account has no activity, I think we've set it to like 5 years or something at the moment. So that means you don't touch money for 5 years. We are going to assume you're dead. So we're going to stop paying out commissions. Uh, and that's because we don't want these commission functions to become like a huge inheritance problem in the future, because that gets complicated and hairy. Like realistically, do you let the contributor tokens like go and you sell them and you're dead? Your estate just sells them and you just take all the profits and you just go away. Like you're not going to be contributing anymore if it's an estate handled situation. Those people who are getting your utility tokens uh, or getting the rewards from your contributor tokens and your utility tokens or whatever the composition is, sure, whatever. But the commissions are no longer valid. So commissions will not act like royalties and be something that estates can inherit. They are based on you actually being alive and doing your thing. But point is, while you're alive, you don't have to worry about a retirement or a 401k or any of this other stuff, because you have, as long as you're alive and touching the protocol, doing things, you're fine. Your commission checks will keep rolling in. Um, but we can't have a situation where like a bunch of commission checks are just rolling into like forgotten or lost wallets or these kinds of things. So that is protected against.
Yeah, so that's actually wow, that's a very powerful point that you brought up, because I think everything that you mentioned there, because you went over a lot in terms of our whole system of how we have it. Yeah, I want to touch on a few points just to give you guys some perspective. So first and foremost, I know for a lot of you guys out there who are in sales, okay, you're getting paid in one of three ways. If you're getting pure commissions, it's like you make a sale. After the payment gets taken out, you're probably waiting another 1 to 2, maybe 3 weeks before that commission check hits your door. Guys, at the end of the day, once you put in a sale here at FiatRexa on chain, immediately it is coming to your wallet. You don't have to wait for the payment. That is something already that puts it leaps and bounds ahead of any other system of commission payment out there. Now, also on top of that, I know many people are familiar. At the end of the day, this is a similar type of system with affiliate marketing, right? And as we know, the affiliate marketing industry is a massive, massive industry. Currently, it's set at $17 billion, and by 2027, it's said to be worth about $27.8 billion. And people are doing this more and more because at the end of the day, word of mouth advertising, like you were saying, is the strongest form of advertising. If we look at Tesla, Tesla does not have a single video ad out there. They do word of mouth advertising, and they also have their own referral system. You can give somebody your code if you are also a Tesla owner, and you could be able to benefit from that. And somebody that you share that code with gets a little discount, right? So these systems are out there, and there's different forms of it, but understanding what sort of system that you want to use to be able to leverage to help you grow is what's going to do better. So obviously, everything that we have on chain, you don't have to worry about any sort of person getting between you and your pay, which is absolutely massive. You can work with a group of like-minded individuals who all want to see the protocol grow, because at the end of the day, even though everything is based on performance in a sense, you get paid based on how well you do. There's no form of quotas, so you don't derank because you didn't make sales in a certain month. At the end of the day, everything stays on chain. The people that you sold lifetime will continuously, you will get whatever fee you get from them, whether it's the 10% or the 5% on the secondary. So this is something that you can build once and benefit from over an extended period of time. Now obviously, it's not something that can be willed down to your children per se, but here in FiatRexa, we are teaching people the ability of how to be able to balance their assets, to be able to grow within the protocol, but also outside in their life. Because at the end of the day, what do we need fiats for? We need fiats to be able to pay for life. That is why we are building this protocol, to be able to have something that allows people to be able to grow wealth that directly correlates with the real world.
100%. And like you're still getting your commission checks. Like how you use your money, you still want to be buying assets they're going to produce. And maybe you buy a lot of contributor tokens and you will those over. Like you can take your commission and buy into the protocol, especially if you understand it and you're working in it, you're probably going to understand good times to buy and good times to sell. So you'll be in a better position to build wealth. You should still diversify and do a bunch of other things, but the protocol itself is a diversification tool. You get access to all the tokenized fiats in the world. You get access to all of the tokens through the fact that we're a multi-chain integrated protocol. So if there is a token on a particular chain, as long as we support it, you can acquire it through dexes and other on-chain mechanisms. So there is no intermediary robbing you or stealing your shit. Uh, so even bad actors infiltrating our institutions is no longer going to cause you harm. If you're in a region which is going through political disruption, which I think most regions are more and more trending towards more and more political disruption, you can actually have safety. You can actually have your money, and you can actually afford the things you are deserving to as a human being, like your rights, like your right to water and food and things like this. Like you still have to earn your keep, but now you actually get to keep the benefits of your earnings instead of them being taken by other people all the time. So it's a fair system that's on chain and immutable. And you're gaining skills. Like you could go on vacation whenever you want, and your skills are still with you, and you're still getting paid for the work in the past. But then you could come back and do more work and increase your earnings. You could then take these skills and go get another job while still having these earnings. Like the wealthiest people in the world have multiple forms of income and streams of income. We're allowing you to develop multiple streams of income where one is actually enough to live a good quality life anywhere in the world with more tooling to help you keep your money because your costs are lower, while also being able to help other people live a higher quality of life. If you're going for the marketing contributor angle, you're out there talking to these people and helping to educate people about how the world works, because most people don't know how this stuff works. That the word fiat is weird to them. Like, what do you mean? What is fiat? Crypto is something they've heard of, but they don't understand the actual underlying value of what crypto is. Um, they're usually buying shit coins and things that have nothing to do with crypto, and instead are just random TradFi scams throughout the crypto space, because we've had two huge waves of TradFi people join the crypto space now who have no care for the ethos of crypto and therefore just try to enrich themselves. Um, you can actually be part of what I would call the right side of history, where you can actually be helping other people live a better quality life, and you get a share of that better quality life, a small percentage. If you give someone $1,000, you are deserving of having $10 or $100 of that $1,000. That's essentially the simple nature of an on-chain, fair, transparent commission system. Other people are getting value, and you're getting a small percentage of that value. If other people do, if you refer people who get no value out of the protocol and are not doing anything in the protocol, they, I don't know, they live on a mountain and they don't touch money at all, crypto or anything. They don't have bank accounts. First of all, I don't know if that's even legal anymore. like, I don't, you can't get water. You're not allowed to have your, in Canada, you're not allowed to have your land because they can take it from you from property taxes. So, like, if you don't pay your rent to the government, you shit out of luck. You will lose your land, which means even if you're perfectly self-sufficient, you have your chickens and you have your farm and you got everything right. If you don't pay your rent to the government, they will just take that all from you. So I think tokenized fiats and having this control over your life is important, especially because banks will try to do things that they shouldn't, or bad actors within banks. Again, like banks are just another instrument, like just like the government is an instrument. Bad actors unfortunately infiltrate these things and do bad things with these things, these institutions. FiatRexa allows you to avoid the bad actors and to protect yourself against them, same as Bitcoin does, same as other core crypto does. But now you actually have the full anchor to fiat, because the good actors in the government will also come for your ass if you are not actually participating in their system as per their laws and regulations and requirements. So this is a simple, safer way of doing all that without the bad actors in between you and them. Because you can also have bad actors who can do bad things and the government can think it's you and it wasn't you. But there's not much you can do about it because TradFi, it's through the banking system. So you're just shit out of luck. Um, there's a lot of value within the FiatRexa ecosystem, and we haven't really touched on all that much of it here for targeting of the people who should be more marketing or sales oriented contributors. But if you can, try and read the white paper or watch some of our other videos, consume some more information, become more informed. Because as a marketer, when you have all these insights and tools at your disposal, you will hear these day-to-day problems from people, and you'll actually be able to help them solve their problem now. Someone's going to be dealing with the fact that they just got milked 20% on a foreign purchase because their credit card had an extra FX fee marked up into it. Or you're going to hear about someone who can't access a certain fiat. Now they're going to have to do a cash exchange or something at a local FX market, and they got mugged. They went to an ATM and they got mugged, or what have you. Like, there's a bunch of these problems that pop up all the time. People who just have their bank account and an automatic payment went against their bank account, so they got an overdraft fee of minus $50. Or they have money in their bank account and the bank decided, oh, we can't let you have that money because insert whatever random reason they're using this time. When there's a bail-in, as a likely upcoming one actually, which is quite probable in the West, where they just take everybody's money out of their bank accounts to, instead of doing a bailout, doing a bail-in for the institutions, because their rampant fraud and theft is unsustainable and eventually breaks. You can also just sidestep all that rampant fraud and corruption, and just use FiatRexa as a protocol and skip a lot of the TradFi systems. And again, TradFi systems could get better in the future, but they could also get worse again in the future. This is just another alternative. This is just a different way. It's a way of opting out of the crap. Like, the big one for me personally is like the idea that I can deposit money in a bank account or financial institution and that money can be used to finance killing people messes with me badly. I do not like that. I'm very upset by that. So I want to eliminate that. As a marketer, you may find people who also have strong value stances like I do on what they are okay contributing to and not contributing to, knowingly or unwittingly. They can now actually have a choice beyond just Bitcoin, which is great. There's other core crypto which you can do, which allow you to like keep your money and your value produced in a productive manner, which doesn't involve your funds being misappropriated and used to cause harm. However, their relative denomination in fiat, which you have to pay to live and exist, is not stable. It fluctuates based on the volatility of those fiat currencies. So the volatility of those fiat currencies, which are all trending hard down and have been for a century and are going to continue to do so, because that is the nature of the construction of the fiat system, you're going to, yeah, you're still going to need to have fiat at the end of the day. So you're going to have to pay your bills in fiat. Like, it doesn't matter if it goes to zero. It just means your rent goes from 1,000 to 2,000, or from your grocery bill goes from $50 to $100 or $150 or what have you. So this devaluation of fiat allows you to benefit from other assets, but the tokenizing of fiat allows you to actually do so easily in a transparent, self-controlled, fair, guaranteed manner, because it's on chain. The code is for anybody to read and approve. And as a marketing contributor, you don't need to read code. You don't need to know much about code at all. You need to know about like the high level concepts and ideas. You need to be able to communicate high level concepts and ideas. I need to know probably a bit about human psychology and a little bit of the context of like where we are today and how we got here. That would probably be helpful. But a lot of people don't care. Someone's saving a few dollars every single day, or a few dollars every month, or every year. I mean, someone's only saving a few dollars a year. They're going through some tough economic times. That person is struggling. They have no money. So the contributor system for those people especially is going to be beneficial because they actually have mechanisms then to generate income. But for those who have capital and are inside the FiatRexa ecosystem, they're generating more capital off that capital because you have automations where you used to have to pay people to do things. It's just a bunch of code now. Even in a lot of the banks, a lot of the stuff is actually code. It's just you have a bunch of people with their hand out at that entity taking their cuts, huge cuts. At FiatRexa, that does not happen. The fees are lower than everywhere else. So you keep more of your money, and then of those fees, they're distributed to the contributor system. So no employees are necessary, and we can run a pure common good protocol thesis, which allows a lot of people to make a really good living while improving the state of the world without any of the concentration risk or the corruption risks that we typically face throughout all of our government, business, and not-for-profit or NGO type entities. I think that's
Yeah.
not necessarily super important to a lot of marketers now that I say it.
Yeah, I think I think you touched on basically just everything with like the whole system and just understanding like the information that they're gonna need to know. But like the bottom line is that yeah, guys, this system that we've built here with the contributor system with FiatRexa is a really really powerful place for you to be able to come in, even if you no matter your experience level, you can be an elite marketer, you could be a novice marketer, but what we need at the end of the day, first and foremost, no matter what skill level you're at, is teachability. If you are willing to be teachable and coachable, then the information is going to be easy for you guys to grasp. And from there, you'll be able to obviously share the information with other people, onboard them onto our contributor program, and help them understand the value in everything that we were doing here with FiatRexa so that they can see, yeah, they can see the growth over time.
Yeah, 100%. Like the whole point is like it's actually a fair commission system that you get to keep everything and it's indefinite. So you're getting like you could sell something and get like a huge input of capital, but as that person uses the products, you're getting more and more and more and more and more because that person's growing their capital as well. So if they're using like okay, if you have $100,000 to your name, the amount of money you spend on your credit card every month is not going to be very high. You're going to be spending a few hundred, maybe a few $1,000s a month because you can't afford much more than that. If you have $1 million, you might be spending a few $1,000s every month consistently because you can afford to, so you're not as stressed about it. Uh, your gains on that million are more because that return of capital of 5 to 10% from basic market functions are going to be higher. LP yields are going to be higher. They have more capital to lend out, so they'll be doing more loans and yields on loans. They'll have more ways to make more money. So as their capital grows, they're able to do more things to make more yield on that capital, which are more substantial in like finalized denominated terms. So even though the percentages are all the same, the take home changes. Like if you have $10 million and you're making 10%, that's $1 million a year. If you have $100, you're making 10%, that's $10 a year. But when you're able to keep more of your money and you're able to keep growing, you get closer and closer and you get more and more and more and more and so on and so forth. So that puts you into a better position fundamentally. Uh, you as a marketer are also earning. You're going to be adding to your own accounts and growing it faster, and you're able to then get more yield out, so on and so forth. If you help other people be not only users of the FiatRexa protocol who would purchase utility tokens to get a discount on protocol fees and or become a contributor, if they actually go to the point of becoming a contributor and you help them learn how to, be a self-aware, self-managed person, they're going to be able to be a developer for the protocol, or a designer, or a marketer, or a trainer, or an educator, manager, auditor, etc., 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 etc. Like we have, I think, 30 or 50 role templates at the moment for the upcoming contributor DAO dashboard, which is going to be like a cohesive dashboard. So you have all the tooling given to you for free. But again, this is going to be built in step with the contributors. So if you are a particular type of contributor, there's a particular way you want to contribute, you might actually create a whole new role within the system, which we then have to build a new dashboard for. But you can also just use what's being built already once it's published. We are not releasing the dashboard for a while. We need to have a lot more contributors before we release the dashboard. We need a base level of users. So once that's completed, then there'll be more and more tooling available. And also as a marketer, if you come up with something that's like super smart, uh, but you don't know how to build it, there's other contributors in the system. Like if you come across a problem that is not being adequately addressed by the protocol that you think should be addressed by the protocol, just submit the discussion and it can be addressed by the contributors. You're not alone. You're not just trying to do everything by yourself. That's a very, very big difference. You still benefit and keep everything the same way as if you were doing it by yourself, but you're getting the factors of growth from a group, but without the risks of someone stealing shit. Like if you go and start a business with someone and you're all signing accounts on the bank account, they can empty out the bank account because 2 out of the 3 people decide to fuck someone over. It's possible, happens all the time. Not inside the FiatRexa system, though. It's a protocol. So your risk base is floored. You can't get fired. You can't get scammed. You can't get robbed. It's just a much better way of doing things. Doesn't mean you abandon your job. If you're making 200,000 a year as a marketing manager or CMO for something, do not quit that to do this. That is an insane move, in my opinion. But do this as well on the side, and as you learn and you grow, when this income is more than 250 or 350 a year, whatever is greater than your current income, switch over full time to this, and then only work a few hours a week.
Yes, and the point that I would say that correlates with that is like, guys, you can treat this as like hedging against your job. So literally with whatever sort of job you're in, whether, I know some people who are in the sales space, whether you're in car sales or you're doing retail, any sort of that stuff, or you're doing marketing for social media firms, whatnot. We're not telling you to quit any of that stuff. We're telling you to take those skills. You can use those skills for yourself in an entrepreneurial fashion, as well as take some of the earnings that you're getting from, let's say, your job, invest it, use it to become a contributor, and also buy some contributor tokens and or FiatRexa tokens. And this will allow you to then slowly grow within the space. And then eventually, yes, it can and will replace your income in the sense of as the protocol grows and we reach the certain milestones that we are looking to reach, everything is going to be a self-fulfilling prophecy in the sense of, yeah, like the FX markets are there, the tokenized fiats, the value is there. It's just about reaching those levels so that we can complete everything that we are looking to do.
Yeah. Many hands make light work. And on top of that, we need more people who are contributors who know how it works, so it's a more stable system. If there's only like 100 contributors, there's risk. If there's only 10 contributors, there's much higher risk. Once there's 1,000 contributors, the chances of all those people suddenly dying and not there not being like this brain trust in existence in the world really, really falls off pretty hard. Once we get to like 1,000,000 contributors, it becomes impossible in my mind. I just don't see it be like, even if there was an apocalypse of some variety, it would still be viable because it's just enough will survive. Enough people will be alive, even in an apocalyptic outcome. So then we have a fully robust system that will outlast everything, and that is beneficial because if we have a mechanism for exchanging and managing value uh, that integrates with all other crypto systems, we will have a much stronger base. Even if governments collapse, even if businesses collapse, even if central banks collapse, we'll be in a much better position. If central banks do collapse, though, like that would be pretty bad from the FiatRexa point of view because they're the printers of the money that we're tokenizing. So we probably would have to come up with a new tokenized fiat, new basis, like an aggregate of remaining international fiats,
Mm.
because that country would start using some other country's fiat for whatever reason, right? Be like, there's already a few countries today which use the U.S. dollar instead of a local fiat because they just
Yeah,
don't
they
want to.
do. I know Ecuador, and they don't have their own currency. They use USD. Yeah, I know some other countries, other places. Yeah, it just their economy is pretty cooked to the point where it's just like might as well just use a currency that is stronger in the sense of it allows them to sustain.
Yeah, and there's no jobs usually in those economies either, so you can't really earn the currency unless you're part of like the printer. Like, so, uh, yeah, this allows people to actually have some autonomy and control in their life, so they can actually build a better life for themselves and those around them.
Mm.
Um, yeah, for marketers, I think like the big takeaway or final point to end on is just like, again, it's on-chain commissions. You get paid immediately, so like you know if someone's purchased or not, or has signed up as a user, or signed up as a contributor, or whatever. I don't know what type of sale process you're going to account or marketing process you're necessarily going to go for. It's up to you. But you can literally see when they've done it. You can they click the link, which is your customer referral link. It's all on chain. You can verify everything. They can verify everything. Like This isn't a normal trusting process where you go and you like order something on Amazon. You're like, I trust they're going to give it to me because they have a guarantee. And then it's like a scammer who sold a fake product, and Amazon's like, not our problem. We're not responsible for the people who post on our platform. Like, not gonna happen here. It's all on chain. You can verify everything yourself. So that makes it a lot easier. That being said, it's not everything is built right now. You're getting in early, and the benefit of getting in early is that the cost of the utility tokens is lower. The cost of becoming a contributor is lower. The amount of time, time cost really is so much lower because when everything's fully built out, it's going to take hours to learn everything. Whereas right now, you can learn pretty much everything you need to in about an hour of reading, hour and a half, because that's just not it's not that big just yet. You know where we're going and what we're going to be doing in the future, but there's not as much minutia to drill down into. In 10 years' time, when everything is fully built out, for you to drill down through everything is going to take days because of just a sheer volume of functionality and utility throughout the protocol. So earlier is better and easier. And you can just like stay up to date by doing like, I don't know, poop reads or whatever. You utilize some ineffective time. You have a few minutes free and you can just read an update. That one update instead of having to read this giant sequence that's accumulated over years. So yeah, mm, if you have ideas or if you want help or if you have questions, you can leave a comment. You can send us a message on Discord or on one of the socials. We can set up a call, whatever. Happy to do whatever makes sense to help people build value for themselves and their communities and loved ones. So, yeah.
Yeah, guys, definitely for sure tap into the Discord. Send us a message on there. We will get back to you. And if you're looking to become a contributor, yeah, reach out to us there as well. You can directly add us and we'll be able to message back to you and help you get onboarded in that process. And then from there, yeah, we will show you the process of what you need to know and how to get started. And then let's get on the ground running.
Yeah, and hopefully by the time some people are watching this, the forum's also up. So you can also go onto the forum, which would be forum.fiatrexa.com. Not published yet, not up yet, but by the time some people are watching this, it probably will be up.
Awesome. Well, awesome, guys. Thank you for tuning in to the Fireside Chat. And we are going to be signing out now. Everyone, take it easy. Peace.